feel that every business tends to survive because they've got some sort of seasonal peak through their annual cycle. And it's that seasonal peak that the business needs to capitalise on to make money for the year. Generally, all those other periods of the year, that time during the year, they might break even or even go backwards. Now, the particular business I work in has a focus in dealing with schools, with the education sector. And it makes a lot of money during the back to school period, and in particular in generating book lists for students and getting those students to come and their parents to come to our store or to purchase online for their school supplies. And it's so important to keep on the front foot and to get some sort of advantage against all our competitors. And we start the back to school process and generating book lists as early as possible. And the way we do that is to take the database of information that we have from the previous year, translate the next year's book list and into a new version that we know that the student will be wanting to buy from for the next year, and send them that updated version. And this is where data cleansing becomes very important, because we don't want to muck that up. So you understand we've got a database of parents who bought their students' book lists the previous year. We go through that database, we translate all those students' book lists for that school, for that class, into the subsequent class for that school, and send them the updated version. We need to cleanse out any abnormalities, any inherent errors. And the sorts of cleansing process we go through is, of course, we've got to remove all the students or all the parents that opted out of any further contact from our business. That's a legislative requirement, and we stick to that. Generally speaking, whatever database we had, we reduced it by half. Then we wash it against our big complaints section, where we know there's a whole lot of people that have complained about our business and don't want to have anything to do with us. So rather than exacerbate that, it's not this opt-in, opt-out marketing thing. It's the fact that they've rung, they've sent an email, it's been abusive, they're unhappy, they don't want anything to do with us ever again, book list or no book list or whatever. So we remove all those. And it tends to be that our database is reduced by a quarter again. Then we need to work out which parents might have just got a job or have moved into an activity or a business which competes with ours. So we don't want to exacerbate them or even give them some product information a bit earlier that they could use for their own business. So we need to remove all the parents who might have joined a newsagent or some sort of national stationery supplier or some sort of major competitor who works in the same industry, because we don't want to give them a heads up of what we're doing. So we remove all them, and it tends to be another quarter again reduced. Then we need to work out which students have moved school. They might have moved from primary to secondary, they might have moved suburbs, they might have moved countries, they might have moved states, in which case the book list we're going to send them, the updated version, is useless. So we don't want to waste our time, we don't want to waste our money, so we remove them. By now we're down to a couple of hundred students. Of course, of those, and we get a list from the Education Department in every state, of those we need to know which ones did not graduate. And so we have to remove those that didn't move from their previous year level due to poor academic performance or whatever, and did not go up to the next year level. To send them the next year's levels book lists would be quite offensive and perhaps upsetting and non-intuitive. So we've had to cleanse the database to make sure we don't include any students that might be in that category, and you'll be surprised how many there are. And finally, we get a list from the National Registrar of all the, you don't want to upset anybody, and this is the real danger of using a database and just sending out mass emails. We remove all the students that might have passed away in the last 12 months.